Hello riders, it's Josh from CycleHunters.com. Today we have a 2009 Yamaha FZ6r. Clearly you can see this is a sport bike. However, you can get into this and it's got handlebars. So this is a sports bike that you could pretty much ride all day long. You could take a friend on the back because the back seat's actually really nice. In terms of sports seats, that's actually a larger seat. But this is an upright sports bike, so riding on a daily, your daily trips, it makes it so much easier because you can just jump on. Real super easy reach to the bars. You're not leaning forward as though you were on a race bike. Although it does have fairings and it's aggressive looking, it's not the race bike. I'm sure if you really wanted to turn it into one, you could probably do so, but that's not what this is for. Now, the engine, it's a 4-cylinder motor, 600cc bike. So, 66 horsepower, 40 pounds of torque, 8,300 and some odd RPMs. It has the aftermarket Two Brothers pipe on it, so you get a little bit of extra punch out of it. But that, again, this bike is not designed to be the rip-roaring corner carver that some of the other ones are. This bike is designed so that you could jump on it, sport ride, still hustle through corners, and have a great time, but you can ride probably a lot longer than your friends if they're on hardcore sport bikes because you're in a lot more relaxed riding position, and it's just a much easier bike to ride. So paint on this is really nice. There's a couple blemishes, but it's more like an Arctic white. It has some metal flake in there. It's kind of tough to see it. Really clean bike. There are a couple blemishes, but again, not a whole lot. It has the white levers. A lot of meat and tread on the tire, both front and rear. Dual disc brakes, liquid cooled 4-cylinder. Right there, you can kind of see right here and right here, there's some blemishes. A little bit on the bar end, not a ton. Right there, and just the slightest little bit on the mirror. Has a single shock in the rear, like most all of them do. The Two Brothers pipe on here sounds really cool, so you get that extra little punch and attitude. But again, this is a sports bike that you're going to ride on a daily basis. It's comfortable. It's not going to give you that seat of your pants feeling where you're really, really flipping around, flying, ripping through corners, and feeling as though you have to ride it aggressively. This is really, anybody could ride this bike, even beginners, so that if you were somebody that liked that sport look, but you didn't want to be leaning so far forward, you can. Now this has the spools on there, so if you have a stand at home, real easy to pop it up, do some chain maintenance, and look how clean all that stuff is. Real good looking bike. Nice seat with the embossed FZ6r on there. And the rear seat on this bike, it is actually made for somebody to sit on, unlike the regular hardcore sport bikes. Even though, yeah, you could ride on those. It's just that most people take those off and put the cowls on them so that they look more like a racing bike. But, these are, again, more for everyday use. Just go have fun, rip around, and enjoy riding. 4.6 gallons in the fuel tank. So you're going to have some range. It says that 0.9 gallons is when the light comes on. And you can see 4-cylinder right there because of the 4 pipes. Miles per gallon, you're probably 43, 44 in around there. 201 mile range. So you really can get a lot of riding out of this. The windscreen is big enough to block the wind. So you could do some light touring on this if you wanted to take a ride. You can get on the highway with this bike and you're going to feel comfortable. It's not very heavy. The machine, it's weighing wet weight 475 pounds. So for a sports bike, that's really not that bad. It's right in a line with pretty much all the other hardcore sports bikes. A little bit heavier, but not a whole lot. But again, this is not your race bike that's designed to have every little bit taken off of it so that it can save weight, so that you can chop your lap times down. This is really just about hopping on, jumping on the bike, thumb the starter, go down the road, just enjoy riding. So if you're a beginner, you could ride this bike. Now it's, I mean, the seat height, average people is, it's what, 30.9 inches, 31.9 inches. So, you can lower these as well. So you can't go wrong, really. I mean, if you needed to lower it, that's not a big deal. Lowering links, you can get them for, less than $100. This also has the little tank protector, carbon fiber protector on there. So if you have a belt buckle, it's not rubbing and ripping your tank apart. But as far as aftermarket stuff, it's not a ton. It really just comes down to the Two Brothers exhaust, the bar end caps, and I'm pretty sure the levers are an aftermarket lever, or they were maybe just painted to match the rest of the bike. But these are great bikes. They're fun to ride. It's fuel injected machine, so you don't have to worry about carburation or any of that stuff. You just jump on, start it up, and go have some fun. Controls are absolutely simple. You have your high beam, low beam, your turn signal indicator, and your horn. On this side, you have your on-off and your starter. Dash is straightforward stuff. Now, you do have your digital dash, which is going to give you your fuel gauge, your mile per hour, your mileage, which this bike has 19,120 miles. So really not a lot of miles, but it's been ridden. And I personally like the analog tacks. But a lot of these bikes are getting really, really sophisticated, so that now when you have the digital tacks, they're really just as good. It's just kind of nice having that little dial like that right there. You have your neutral light. You have, again, pretty straightforward stuff where, you can adjust your trip meters and things like that, and your clock, all that kind of stuff. But very straightforward, simple stuff. This is not a complicated machine. On these, you can adjust the levers. So if you have longer fingers, you can put them out there farther. If you have shorter fingers, you can bring them in a little closer. And you can adjust each one individually, so you can get really, really honed in there and have it very comfortable. Pretty cool stuff. So let's see what this baby sounds like. Well, you know what? So here's your turn signal indicator. Now this is going to be your left rear and your left front. Got to turn the bike on to have the headlight on. And this is going to be right front and then right rear. Nice and bright. Tail delete. Most people don't like that big thing hanging down anyway. But this is also, here we go, rear. This is foot brake, hand brake. It's kind of hard to reach that. There we go. So, let's see what she sounds like. I'm in neutral. I don't think I have to pull the clutch, but... Ooh, yeah. Now, for a somewhat tame sports bike, that sounds highly aggressive. If you closed your eyes and parked it next to an R6, most people are not going to hear the difference. Because it is a 4-cylinder motor, it sounds aggressive, especially with the Two Brothers pipes. They always sound good. Yeah, this baby sounds like she's going to tear up the road. Really cool. Really cool stuff. high beam, low beam, high beam. That's so awesome. It's definitely cool sounding. You know, way better than what they sound stock for sure. Such a nice machine that if you, again, are somebody that's looking for a somewhat tame sports bike and not the hardcore racing sports bike, maybe you're a beginner or maybe you're somebody that just wants to be able to jump on something and enjoy it. FZ6R is absolutely that bike. It looks cool. It definitely sounds cool. It rides very smooth. You can take it through corners and hustle it through because it is nimble. It's balanced extremely well. It's a lightweight machine, like I said. It's not very heavy. It's not a cumbersome machine at all. And again, if you're somebody that has shorter legs, it's pretty simple to get lowering links for these bikes to lower them just enough. Not a hard thing to do. So then also, with CycleHunters.com, every one of our bikes has a 48-point checklist. Our goal is to make sure that when you get a bike, it's as close as we can make it to new as we can possibly make it. So, you know, a battery tender lead like I'm showing you here, we just put these on every bike so that when you come in from a long day of riding, plug it in, step away, it tops the battery off so that when you get ready to start the bike again, you know, it's jumping to life. We do oil and filter is a basic thing. You know, if anything the bike that it needs, it gets. It's a pretty simple process so that we're not sitting here going back and forth over little things. We really just try to get stuff done as much as we can because we really just want everyone to ride and have an enjoyable ride. It's a simple thing. Riding is so awesome. The more you get to do it, you can see the tread on there. Meaty tire. We check the charging system, you know, all kinds of different things when we do our test ride and our shakedowns to make sure that it's good to go. And this one is ready to rock and roll. So if you're digging the 2009 Yamaha FZ6R, give us a call, 717-273-1809. You can see our full list of our current inventory at www.cyclehunters.com. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. We have aftermarket warranties available. We have some financing options available. In some cases, we can deliver bikes. We can ship them. Just kind of let us know what it is that we need to do to help accommodate you. We do trades. We do buy bikes as well. So if you have something that you're looking to sell us, email us at thecyclehunters@gmail with some pictures and a description of your bike and a breakdown of what you have, and we'll give you a value on it. Well, she's a good looking machine, that's for sure. Sounds awesome. Great bike all around. If you need something for that everyday ride, this is a great bike. And until the next bike, happy riding.